Hey, what is up, recruits? This is your captain speaking, and welcome back to yet another Total War Rome 2 battle. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a land battle this time within... Fuck. Cut. Hey, what is up, recruits? Whoa, fuck. Cut. Hey, what is up, recruits? This is your captain speaking, and welcome back to yet another Rome 2 Total War battle. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a land battle within Egypt. But funny enough, we're not going to be fighting the Egyptians today. Today, you're going to be seeing Rome number 1, Rome number 2, Rome number 3, and me being the little cheeky bugger right here, Sparta. Fighting each other for a little bit of territory. The scenario here basically is that there is a rebellion within Rome, within the northernmost regions of Egypt, attempting to basically overrule the nearby, sorry, not Egyptian, but Roman government, for lack of a better term, government. Fuck. Cut. Hey, what is up, guys? This is your captain speaking, and I would just like to welcome you back to fuck. Cut. Hey, what is up, recruits? This is your captain speaking, and welcome back to yet another Total War Rome 2 battle. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a fight between the core Roman Empire and a little bit of a rebellion that has branched up within the Spartan regions within Greece. This battle basically takes place whenever Rome had just recently taken over Sparta and the Athenian Empire, if I remember historically. I hope I am correct in assuming that in its historical state. But here you've got Rome number 1 and Rome number 2 fighting a little bit of a Roman rebellion that has branched up and allied with the nearby Spartan remnants in order to try to overthrow the current governmental system that is residing within the Spartan town states. So today you're going to be seeing a fight between the rebels and Rome itself. This is an online battle that had taken place a couple hours ago. I just decided to do a little bit of a land battle instead of a siege battle. This battle is shorter, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner. You can see that it's only 13 minutes and 49 seconds. Now, it may be a little bit shorter, but it is very, very action-packed. Things go by really quickly, a lot quicker than I would have liked for it to go whenever I was actually playing the battle. As you can see in the battle, a lot of stuff happens, and it really got really hectic. And the micromanagement just became very, very difficult, and that is definitely something that I struggle within this game, but luckily my ally was there to help me out. It was definitely a close one. I honestly couldn't tell who was going to win until the end. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this battle. If you guys do, make sure to, subscribe, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys, and just try to respond to you whenever you can. Unless, you're east. No, I'm just joking, man. But yeah, guys, we are going to go ahead and get into the battle here. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. So starting off the battle, you've got the two factions starting off. I don't like camping within this game. So soon, yep, now you're going to see me moving up my army instantly. I decided to divide my army into two parts. My strategy was to try to divide the Roman army into two parts as well. Maybe hit them in a little bit of a V formation. Try to get some surrounding hits with my cavalry and such. Because at first, I didn't actually really look at the Roman Empire. I guess it was the Roman Empire, but I didn't really have the opportunity to look at the Roman Empire and see just how much cav they had. So the right side Roman Empire that I would be fighting against definitely outnumbered my cav. I had 3 units of cav, but the Roman Empire definitely had, in my opinion, better cavalry equites. Definitely do a number on me. So as you can see, I began to move up. I was not going to play in the defensive, and I thought the enemy was. But as soon as I began to move up, the enemy's just attempting to force all of its units forward in order to basically halt my advance, and I wasn't going to let that stop me. So I was continuing to move up my units in type of at least my left side units to go and attempt to engage the enemy first off. My ally at this point was frantically trying to tell me to run back because he wanted to camp just on the hill. But again, I hate camping in this game. I honestly, I hate it a lot. I really think it's a weak maneuver. I don't find too much enjoyment in that. So I was let him know. He actually didn't speak English. This was late at night, so I was fighting alongside with a few Europeans, which was awesome. I think he was from Spain, which I thought that was really cool. So it was definitely a little bit difficult to tell my ally, but he was like frantically making circles and stuff, telling me to run back, and I ended up just making a circle and telling him forward and ignoring every other order that he gave because I really didn't want to just camp. But as you can see, the Roman Empire is moving up their army slowly but surely. They have this type of checkerboard formation, I think it's called. This definitely reminds me of a type of checkerboard. It's more of a red and black checkerboard, I guess that is checkerboard. Okay, anyways. So yeah, as you can see, the Roman Empire is moving up their army slowly but surely, as well as me. So at this point, the Romans saw that my archers were out in the open, so I am going to actually have to pause a couple of times in the video. So at this point, my army is in just massive disarray. I am definitely not in position. I did not expect the Roman Empire to move up so quickly. That is kind of the main reason why I was moving up my units. So I was in huge disarray, and the Roman Empire noticed this and just were trying to make a move as quickly as possible. My ally still sitting back here in a defensive stance, which, not gonna lie, kind of pissed me off a little bit. I was really hoping that would move up with me, but again, everybody's strategy is their own. But if we are working as a team, I'd prefer if we work together. But I'm sorry, man, if you're watching this video, I highly doubt you are, but if you are watching this video, I can't camp. I hate camping. It's just not fun. So yeah, right now the Roman Empire is actually moving over the cab because they see that my archers are in the open. So I'm going to go ahead and unpause it here in order to try to get them. So I see this and I'm freaking out. So I'm just trying to charge my spearmen as quickly as possible, run my archers back into the formation of my spears, but it's just not enough. Their cab is way too quick. So they are going to go ahead and get a successful hit on one of my archers before my spearmen could successfully engage with them. See, now I see this and I'm freaking out right now. Like, I did not expect the Roman Empire to make any moves at all, which I should have. This game I definitely played a little bit interestingly, and I should have definitely focused on micromanaging a little bit better, but sadly their cav does get away, and they do end up actually breaking my Helot archers, which sucks because they're freaking amazing. But it's fine. They'll come back here sooner rather than later. So finally, my ally is beginning to move up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause again. So my ally is starting to begin to move up, trying to move behind me to give me a little bit of support. At this point, the Roman Empire is charging. Like, I'm not in formation at all. I'm not prepared. So I'm frantically trying to get all my units just bunched up together. Maybe until later on, I'm going to be forming a type of semicircle to hopefully defend against the Roman Empire. It was definitely interesting to say the least, and you'll definitely see that later on. But you can see that the first Roman Empire is just charging forward while the other one is kind of flanking around. If you look over here, I have a couple of units hidden in the forest. I'm trying to keep them out of sight of the Roman Empire so that maybe I can hit them in the flank later whenever it's crucial. It definitely turns out to be interesting later on in the video, and again, like I've said a couple of times already, you'll see that later on in the video. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and pause this to see what happens. So right now, again, I'm just frantically trying to move my army into formation. I see their cav beginning to charge up. So I try to form my spears, or bring my spears into a specific formation to kind of defend against that. The Roman Empire is giving me no quarter. They are charging forward. They are not giving me any type of break. Surprisingly, they don't charge after my Spartan hoplites, or maybe they do. That was my bad. Get a very beautiful, well, I shouldn't say beautiful, I mean darn you, Roman Empire. But no, it was a very beautiful javelin shot into the flank of my hoplites, and they're still facing backwards because I just wasn't paying attention. And right now I'm just trying to form my hoplites into a type of like, I didn't even know what type of letter that'd be, into like a curved formation, like a half circle, in order to try to defend myself against the enemy. So right now my ally is beginning to form up. The enemy Roman Empire is moving up on our right flank, so he's trying to form a couple of units to face off against them, to hopefully hold up against the archer fire. Right now, he is focusing his archers on the enemy archers, hopefully to take them out. Or I should say their levies. They didn't actually have any archers, but those levies would have done some serious damage to my Spartans. Thankfully, they were focusing them down. Okay, there's a lot going on again. So right now, I am attempting to charge my cav around into the flanks of the enemy, so that way I can hopefully break them early on and free up some of these troops from these Spartans. The Spartans only sent 3 units to try and just hold down my entire army, basically. Like, my entire army was in disarray. I've got a bunch of units back here, and I'm just trying to frantically charge them up into the fight. But I do have this semicircle successfully holding off the Roman Empire, at least for now. I've got my general here in the back. And I do have a unit of Spartan use. Yes, they are cheap, but they definitely end up getting their money's worth later on in the video, and they're just kind of sitting here just right on the left side. The enemy has free reign with their cav right now. They are just charging into the flanks of our army. They're trying to get around us to just try to hit us hard, hit us wherever we're weak, and maybe get rid of our archer units and such. So they notice that I'm trying to flank them with my cav, so they are sending 2 units of their equites to try to take out my cav before it can do any serious damage. Right now, the enemy is just trying to form up, push up their units, and get into the battle before my ally can come and support. But my ally is also trying to frantically set up a frontline defense against the oncoming just Roman horde. Like, whenever you think of a horde, usually during this time period, I usually think of like barbarians, just the Gallic Empire and such, with their little towns and everything, getting all their citizens together, and just charging forth. But I mean, there's just this giant horde of metal beasts just charging at us, and it was scary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I almost shit my pants a couple of times during this battle. Like, this was definitely an interesting battle. So the enemy is actually successfully focusing their archer units on this legionary cohort, which is a really good unit. It's sad that they are getting completely demolished by archers, but at least we are successfully forcing the enemy to use all their ammo on one unit instead of just on a bunch of different units, weakening a bunch of our units. Because right now, fresh units are going to be key. So yeah, again, I am successfully keeping my infantry in a type of formation to hold off the Romans. For some reason, they didn't charge the rest of their infantry. I'm not really sure what happened. But I'm going to go and unpause it, and we're going to see what happens from there. So yeah, the Romans are successfully charging their cav after my fleeing cavalry. I was trying to send my cavalry into the flank, and then I noticed that their cav was coming after me, so I was really hoping that I could get my cav away from them, but they were able to catch up with me, if I could speak proper English. They were actually successfully able to catch up with me and engage with my cav before they could get away, so there was really nothing I could do except for just take the L and do as much damage to the enemy cav as I could. So the Romans are setting up in a type of V formation to fight against our lines. My ally here is setting up a very nice formation to combat against the enemy formation coming in. The Romans sending in a big old clump of units over here to try and break our troops, but they are coming face to face with a defensive Spartan hoplite units, which is a very good unit if you get them into that type of shield wall formation, which I successfully did. So they're going to hold that for quite a while. Right now I see that they have a giant blob, so I'm using all my archers to try to focus them down. Gonna have to pause here again, guys. So try to focus down that blob. But if you look over here, the enemy cav had successfully broken my cav, and now they are going to try and charge their cav back into the fray. My ally seen that the enemy cav was successfully flanking my equite. I'm sorry, not equites, my Spartan hoplites. They charged in 2 units of cav to try to cancel out that cav attack, and also sending in another unit of Socii equites, I think that's how you pronounce it. into the enemy unit of regular Equites. Right now, I'm really struggling to micromanage. That is definitely something I need to work on. So I don't really notice that my cav is just sitting there. I need to get them into the fray to help my ally. So right now they're just kind of hanging out there while my ally is saving my butt with his cavalry. Right now, my ally, again, trying to set up that V formation. He's got his Testati taking the brunt of the veteran legionaries and the legionary cohorts. And his ally, for whatever reason, his ally is just staying back and trying to skirmish us to death, which I guess would be smart in the sense that if his ally wasn't already engaged, but because his ally was already engaged with us, he really needs to get his units into the fray. He can't sit back. He needs to charge forward and help his ally in order to win the battle. So right now we have the full ability to just focus down his buddy's army right now. And as you can see, the Spartan hoplites and the Spartan youths are successfully flanking the enemy, getting some really nice flanking charges and completely surrounding them, which is going to be huge for the later on in the battle. I'm going to go and unpause it here. But yeah, so these two units of Equites are slowly but surely making their way back into the battle. It's taken them a little bit, and as you can see, they are charging in. I think they're charging into these cav, or maybe they're charging into this cav unit. I can't really tell. But the enemy general is actually making their way over here as well. My cav is charging in to try to help out my ally here, because the enemy cav was trying to charge into my ally, which they successfully do. But I see that the enemy general is out in the open, so I used one of my citizen cavalry to hopefully take it out while I'm flanking around with my other citizen cavalry to hopefully get some flanking shots on the units over here and the units over here to help free out my allies' troops. So the enemy's ally finally decided to charge up, and they're charging up with their Praetorian Guard, Armored Legionary, and 2 units of Armored Legionaries, plus a bunch of troops trying to flank around. More of their weaker units, like their Gladiator Spearmen and such, but they're just charging forth, trying to break my ally's formation and force my ally to retreat. But my ally is the rebellious portion of the Roman Empire, and they're not going to give up without a fight, so they are definitely holding that back a lot of units. But the enemy definitely does have good free reign to charge into my archers and everything, which they are going to do. Sadly, I didn't notice that they were going to charge into our archers, so I didn't have any time to try to move any units to prevent that. So here the enemy also has his cavalry, his equites to flanking my archers. But as you can see, I am successfully starting to break the enemy's front lines, and I mean just continuously over and over raining hell upon the enemy blob that's right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it again, guys. So I do have, because this is a extraordinarily hectic battle. I have no idea how the end of the battle happened as it did, but like right now this is, I mean, we're outflanked, outmatched. My allies' army is breaking right now. I mean, all over the place. The enemy's flanking us, getting rid of all of our archers right now, and it definitely is not looking good for us at all. So yeah, I successfully get my 2 units of citizen cavalry still pretty fresh. One of them fully healed up, and the other one pretty damn fresh. Moving into the flanks of the enemy, trying to my best to take out the enemy's range units so that they can't fire into the backs of my troops, because they were trying to shoot throw their spears into the back of my Spartan hoplites. Sorry, guys. And so over here, I do have my units in the forest slowly but surely moving up. I have them running because they need to get into the battle. They need to do as much damage as possible. I mean, 2 units may not seem like a lot, but if I can get those 2 units into the battle, they can definitely mean a huge difference to the outcome of this battle. So yeah, my ally slowly but surely being engulfed within the Roman Empire's just sheer metallic ranks of forces. They definitely have a lot of elite units, and those guys are really tough to take out. Tough nut to break. Wow, I really can't speak proper English tonight. So I'm going to go and unpause the battle here, guys. So as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of breakage going all around. Some breakage from my ally, some breakage from the Roman Empire that's being flanked from my units. There is a little bit of breakage from some of the range units that I am successfully flanking. And I am actually hitting these archer units with my cav, but the enemy does see that, so they charge in their units, one of their units, a Gladiator Spearman, and their general actually in to try to counter my cavalry. And I see this, so I'm trying to get my citizen cavalry out of there to hopefully save them for another charge. Right here, my ally has his Socii Equites charging into the backs of the enemy, trying their best to break them to free up his troops and just try to reform the front line because it's looking really bad for us right here. The enemy is broken through his little V formation that he's set up. My archers are completely breaking because there's just a bunch of units back here really doing some work against my archers. It's really looking bad for us right now. We've got a unit of legionary cohort coming back from the battle, charging to the backs of my royal Spartans. Excuse me. And I do not notice it, sadly, so they do get a good flanking charge. I mean, all of my archers are breaking. This is good. This isn't good. And I see that my archers are breaking, so I'm frantically just doing whatever I can. This is my general unit. So I'm charging my general unit into the Vigiles. They're Vigiles, so they aren't going to really do much. So my general unit, I mean, Heroes of Sparta versus Vigiles, I mean, it's instantly going to break those Vigiles. I mean, they're not going to stand a chance. So let's catch up on the battle here. Over up here, my allies is just breaking. Like, there really isn't much that they can do against these legionary cohorts, against these armored legionaries and those Praetorian guards. He's just being completely enveloped. He is and starting to slowly but surely break the enemy over here. I am starting to get a charge in here every once in a while with my citizen cavalry. But, I mean, it's really looking grim for us. I mean, I don't know it's going to be enough. Right now, I do still have that successful type of half-circle formation, successfully taking out the enemy. Slowly but surely, we are beginning to break these. We are beginning to break these enemy units, and if we can break this blob and free up all these units, then we're definitely going to have a good chance against all these other units. My units are finally starting to almost get into the battle. My unit of Hell Archers or Heelot Archers are moving up to try to get some shots off on the enemy archers, which are super weakened. They still have ammo though, so they are still a scary force. And I have units of heroes, my other unit of Heroes of Sparta in there, because I pretty much had them in there originally to try to flank around the enemy, because I didn't expect them to charge this way. I was hoping that I could use them as a distraction force in case they try to charge to the forest, to use it as defensive position. That way maybe I could get my force up. So they were definitely far away from the fight, and I definitely needed to move them back. But yeah, so right here, my general is successfully breaking those Vigiles and about to engage with those gladiators. The enemy is still getting a lot of flanking charges onto our archers. My allies frantically charging in whatever he can to try to stop the advance of the enemy, but it really isn't looking good for us. They're getting a lot of flanks into the back of our front lines and into our archers, just completely breaking our archers, still raining hell upon us with their archers, and they still got a couple of cav units every here and there, mainly their generals trying to just get any flanking charges that they can. Right now I am trying to use my citizen cavalry to flank the enemy's front lines and just free up any units that I can to help in the engagement against the just oncoming metallic horde that's coming down the hill towards our flank. But I am going to go and unpause it here, guys. So as you can see here, there's a lot of breakage going on here. My Heelot archers are breaking here, but they are still in the battle. My Heroes of Sparta now charging to the gladiators. Again, just trying to keep them occupied, trying to keep them from charging into the enemy. We got some breakage from some legionary cohort, which is huge here. Some breakage from veteran legionaries, breakage from the slingers, which I actually now successfully have my Heelot archers here shooting into the flanks of the enemy, while my ally is charging in with his cavalry, just causing mass break within the enemy range units. He sees the spearmen charging in, so he's going to try to pull back from that battle. Right here, again, my micromanagement isn't the best. My Royal Spartans are facing against the legionary cohort, but they're showing their backs to them because I just don't notice them. So I definitely need to turn them around and just try to get them face to face with the enemy. A lot of breakage here, actually. So the Socii Equites tried to charge into the battle, but they actually break. We got armored legionaries here, still Praetorian Guard and everything. They're all still here. We've got veteran legionaries breaking. This entire front line is starting to break. Veteran legionary cohort, it's starting, I mean, the battle's starting to turn around, but isn't enough for us to actually be able to win. I mean, the enemy still has a very good force. of elite units and still a couple of archers. I successfully get my Heroes of Sparta in. I'm charging them into the flanks of the enemy. Just trying to get them into the fray, trying to kill any units that are out in the open. We've got the Legionary Cohort breaking. I've got some archers that returned from the battle shooting at them. Plus, I had multiple different units. Healed archers, which had actually run out of ammo, charging in. Or maybe they didn't run out of ammo. I guess I just forgot to micromanage them. So I noticed that the Cav is charging in. The Equites came back, and they're charging for my Mercenary Cretan archers, which isn't good. I really need them for their ammunition, but I can't really do anything at this point. The enemy has clumped up there. For whatever reason, the enemy charged their units and just try to clump up against this front line. And so it just gave us kind of free reign to charge in our cavalry and just keep getting charge after charge in order to break the enemy. I've got my Heroes of Sparta engaging with Gladiator Spearmen. It's really no match. These Gladiator Spearmen are pretty cheap. And against Heroes of Sparta, most things against Heroes of Sparta will lose. I've got all of my infantry here. I've got some of them charging into the armored legionaries. I've got some of them moving in backwards just to try to support against that Equite engagement. And the battle really looks like it's beginning to turn around. This is absolutely insane, guys. I have no idea how this is happening right now. We ended up killing the enemy general over here. They tried to charge in. But I actually ended up getting a successful volley with my archers, and that volley actually ended up killing the enemy general. So we've just got mass break after mass break after mass break happening. Gladiators breaking. We've got some legionaries over here breaking. This front line is all but gone. We have successfully just taken down the entire horde that's here. We've got a lot of my allies units breaking those. This is bad. A lot of his units, you know, we've got a lot of breakage from his units, and I mean that if his units break, then it's definitely going to be a little bit difficult for me to take out his elite swordsmen. I mean, he's still got Praetorian Guard, he's still got armored gladiators, he's still got armored legionaries, so I mean, definitely those armored units can definitely deal a number to my spearmen. And plus, he's still got the remnants of his general that can do some flanking charges. But I'm just frantically trying to get my cavalry out and keep charging in and out, in and out. I mean, we're starting to break their gladiators over here, which took a long time. After forever, they finally break after 5 gladiators, and here it is, guys. The mass break. Both generals are dead, and the enemy just can't take anymore. And that is it, guys. That battle was absolutely insane. It may have been an extraordinarily quick battle, but I have no idea how we successfully came back from that. It was just a mixture of the flanking charges from our cav after we successfully took out their cavalry units, and the fact that we ended up killing both of their generals before even half their army was pretty much killed. And I mean, me and my ally definitely worked together pretty well. My ally doing a lot of work and holding off just that giant horde of enemy. Even with the enemy flanking us, they didn't flank us nearly as hard as they should have, in my opinion. And just wasn't able to flank any of our units to break that front line. If they were able to break those front lines and just free up any of their units to successfully flank our units, then I think they would have had a great chance of winning. But just with our cav charging in and out everywhere, I really think that it was the cav that won our sub-battle. The cav charging in and out everywhere, just successfully breaking so many different units. And with that archer unit that I had flanking in the back, successfully killing that enemy general, I think that's really what got us the victory. But if you look around here, guys, I mean, there's a lot of dead. It was definitely, as the screen says, you are victorious, but at what cost? Many have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, there are so many dead littered upon the now red hillside of Sparta. Was it worth it? Was the rebellion worth it? How soon will it be before another Roman army ends up at our doorstep? I mean, I don't know how long we'll be able to hold off in this. We lost a lot of good men today. But let's go ahead and look at the stats of the units. So as you can see, I deployed 1,860 men and lost 1,199 of them, successfully killing 1,430. So I'm glad that I was able to kill over 200 more enemies than I lost. My allies successfully deploying 2,010 units, but a lot of them, as you can see here, he brought a lot of weaker units, or maybe he didn't. I thought he brought a lot more Hastati. That was my mistake. But yeah, he brought a lot of legionary cohort, and a lot of them just took so much archer fire. It was absolutely insane. His Socii Equite is doing a lot of work. The enemy deploying. So yeah, no, great game to my ally Joss. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And my enemies Slivis and Luxus. It was a really fun battle, guys, and I hope that I'm able to play with you guys again sometime in the Total War world. But the first enemy Roman Empire deploying 1,950 men and losing 1,745 of them, successfully killing 1,433. Romans are not something to mess with. Those armored legionaries and everything are definitely very, very difficult to take out. Veteran legionaries, I mean, overall, Slivis getting a lot of kills with his legionary cohort, 122, 111. You've got 135 with the veteran legionaries, 107, 98, 89, not doing bad at all. And then with Luxus, he brought a lot of weaker units. He brought a lot of gladiator spearmen, gladiators. He brought a unit of Praetorian Guard, Vigiles. So he brought a lot of weak units. I mean, it just gladiator spearmen, gladiators. I mean, a ton of weaker units. His main units being the Praetorian Guard and the 2 units of armored legionaries. He did bring 3 units of auxiliary Syrian archers, which are very, very good units. But they didn't do bad. But by the time my archers were able to flank around, and by the time those cavalry chargers were able to hit them, they really couldn't do much against it. So yeah, guys, I mean, Royal Spartans getting 168 kills. My general getting 67 against the weaker unit. My Spartan hoplites definitely holding their own in that type of semicircle formation. But overall, it was a great battle, guys. I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you liked and or disliked about it. Definitely let me know what you disliked about the battle and or this YouTube video, and I'll definitely try to improve on it as much as possible. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really, really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.